Hey there, welcome back to another episode of CelluloidNation. Once again, I'm joined with my good friend Matt, and just to warn you guys and gals that there might be a change in audio on his end because he has internet from a bunch of heinous anuses in HughesNet who are just throttling his speeds and just being a whole shitstorm, a whole slew of fucking assholes. So, but this is the best that I can get, and I think it sounds okay, which is better than nothing.
Thanks for having me on here again. And yeah, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. There's much more serious things in life. I when you go through a week of diarrhea and stuff,
Yeah.
vomiting,
Uh
you
huh.
you realize these things. So I'm still
Yeah.
recuperating day by day, but this is fun. This is a fun thing to take my mind off that. So
Yeah.
thanks for having me on.
Anytime. So he might cut out. We'll see what's going on. I tested this out a week ago or a few days ago, and it sounded all right. We talked for like an hour or two, so I think it should work out all right. But anyway, let's get down to it. Let's get right down into the nitty gritty. Like dig our claws and our teeth into what we're going to talk about today. And we'll start out with the main course, the Predator teaser trailer.
It's not the predator. It's the pussinator. You know, it's that's what I call it. It's the
Yeah,
pussinator.
I like to call
It's
it.
just a bunch of
Yeah,
pussies.
it's when I saw this teaser, I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
You're like, geez, that's a bit pussy.
Yeah, geez, that's a big
Geez, that's a
pussy.
bit pussy. Because of the echo.
Or you could be like, "You're one ugly motherfucker." This was a pretty ugly teaser. This is the type of teaser trailer you don't take home to your mama. Wow, like this was worse than I could have ever possibly imagined it being. This and the teaser trailer for Venom are like neck and neck right now for like worst teaser trailers. And Venom had a recent trailer that came out where you saw more Venom, but you're not going to see the spider insignia on his chest because they're not allowed to do that. And from what I've heard from rumors, from like screenings, and from people involved with the production, that Venom's barely even in the movie. So yeah, I'm giving the
That
thumbs
sounds like
up
that
symbol
Spawn
right
movie
now.
that's coming out.
Yeah, it sounds like the Spawn film exactly. That the Jamie Foxx is rumored to play Al Simmons, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's not right for it." I actually don't think it's a bad casting choice, Jamie Foxx. It's just it doesn't seem like a Spawn film. It's more of a Sam and Twitch film, and not Sam and Twitch. That's a different thing. What the fuck are their names? I'm trying to remember exactly what their names are. Because Sam and Twitch is some other game, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong though. But it's based on these detectives that were featured in the HBO series. So
Why don't you get like Idris Elba for the lead on that?
that'd be cool. I'd be up for that too. But
But I
anyway,
mean,
we don't want to. We'd rather talk about
and
anything else other than the Predator teaser trailer because it's so upsetting. This is the culmination of all of the rumors and the script leaks that we've got our hands on in the past, and it's so devastating to actually see it unfold and to actually see that all of these things that we feared
well,
this film was going to be
we were told.
that we were told, yeah.
We were told. We didn't. we didn't get our hands on. We
No,
were
we didn't get.
told
Well,
from
got our hands on
someone we
information.
won't mention.
There you go. That's kind of what I meant. We got our
Right.
hands on information from someone else, and it seems to be true. It's not just a rumor here because when the synopsis came out, it was, oh, it's in the suburbs, and I remember even before that synopsis came out, there were PR people from Fox and other people trying to be like, no, it's not in the suburbs. It's not. It's not. And then it is.
The kid flying a spaceship is the
Yes.
beginning of the teaser.
Such a bad teaser. Such a bad opening.
And
First off, the teaser
right for
trailer opens up with those stupid thing that a lot of teaser trailers do for some reason. Let's open up with like 20 seconds of the teaser trailer that you're going to see. Like, why are you doing that? It's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, that's a common fad that I don't understand how it became a fad. It's like it
Remember
breaks any
Ballbusters?
flow
They
of
had the 20
momentum
second,
to a
like,
trailer.
yeah, you had the 20-second teaser trailer to the teaser trailer for Ballbusters before it came out.
Or even when they have a full trailer nowadays, if I'm not, do you realize this? When they have a trail, they'll show like 5 seconds of it at the beginning,
Yeah, they
and then
did
they
that
start from
for
the beginning.
Deadpool. They did that for Deadpool as well recently, if I remember correctly.
They do that like every trailer now. Like they'll show like some random 5 second spurt, and then it'll be like,
Titles.
hasn't been approved for all audiences.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they go. It's just like it's so random. It's like ADD fueled generation
yeah.
required or
hmm
something.
But yeah, you start out with this
But you have a
fucking
kid flying a
kid.
ship as if it's fucking Star Kid.
Pew, 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 pew. What is this shit? Small Soldiers? But yeah, Star Kid.
Sequel to Star Kid.
That too. Star Kid too. I actually do remember Star Kid. It was it
It, fucking Disney movie.
yeah.
I'm not saying that's a Disney, but it looks like a Disney movie. The
And,
beginning of
and like,
that.
how does the kid get this shit anyway? Does his dad just send it to the house randomly? Is that what it is? Oh, we gotta hide it from the government, so let's just send this package of alien technology to my kid.
Well, it was probably to the father, and the father's not home, so the kid gets it,
Yeah,
or the kid grabs it and opens it up.
yeah.
Because isn't he? I think he's supposed to be autistic,
Uh huh.
in the.
Yeah, in the leaked
I'm guessing that's what they're going to do.
yeah, the leaked script information we heard about, he's not only autistic, but he has the helmet and the gauntlet, and he puts it on and dresses up as a predator for Halloween, and blows somebody's house up with the
They show it's
cannon.
Halloween.
They show Halloween, exactly. He's got the helmet now. I'm pretty sure he's going to decipher the predator language, which I'm going to call bullshit on when I see the movie. Are they going to have that scene too
Well, it's
where
Mercury
a
Rising.
predator ogles a fucking naked woman, is going to ogle Olivia Munn and go, and get fucking distracted or some shit? Please don't do that. I don't need to see that happen. I saw that enough with the Ninja Turtles movies recently. I don't need to see that shit with the Predator film. But and then the rumored ending, a 10-foot tall super predator, like what? But I mean, this is the same Fred Decker who apparently in the RoboCop 3 features said that at the end of RoboCop 3, he's like, well, just make the OCP headquarters turn into a giant robot and then fight RoboCop at the end. Unless he was joking.
Yes, that's no. He was not joking. He said that because either people would hate it, or they say it's so crazy, and the kids would love it. But it's something I should have tried, or I should
Fred,
have had Nancy Allen come back as a cyborg.
no. No, Fred. No. One of my best memories in my life will be meeting you in person at the screening of the Monster Squad and getting your autograph and shaking your hand. but I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you a pass here. What I've seen in this teaser is shit. It sucks. It's terrible. It's pathetic. It's putrid. It's
You have a kid flying his toy ship, which is really an actual ship.
yeah.
You have two guys when they're interrogating the guy from Logan. On the other side, they're looking at each other. Oh, you really saw something? Yeah. As if it's like humor from a Marvel
It
film.
doesn't
Like they're
fit.
trying to be funny and then Boyd Holbrook fucking sucks,
Yes.
and T is out of place, just
I
look
like
wise
Keegan
is out
Michael
of
Key, but
place.
yeah, he looks like a scared rabbit or some shit. He looks way out of place in the sequences in this teaser. And I was afraid of that.
And it looks like a sequel to AVPR, only there's lights.
There's no pizza delivery man either. And that teaser was better too because at least it had a red band teaser. Why are you not having a red band teaser? Is this not? I mean, there was a little bit of blood in this, and it was practical, and I'll give it credit for that. And the shot of the predator that we saw was somewhat practical. There was a still that looked more better than anything in this teaser trailer. It's a still of like a predator, and it's like stabbed a guy in midair, and it was actually a pretty good suit. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. It's a predator without its armor, so that was kind of interesting. Where's that shot in the teaser? There's no money shot in this teaser. There's no anything. It's extremely low effort, just like the Venom teaser trailer was. I'd rather you not even do
The
a teaser
waiting
trailer.
for the waiting for the actual trailer, I guess, to show that,
But for me, I'm like,
since it's in September.
yeah, but it's like, just don't even give me a fucking teaser trailer if it's gonna be this much of a low effort production. And I don't want to hear the excuses from people. It's just a teaser trailer. I mean, you know what else was a teaser trailer? The epic trailer for Cliffhanger. That was a teaser trailer. And that's one of the best trailers ever. No dialogue, really no sound effects except for the score. It's a masterfully edited teaser trailer. To this day, I watch it, I get chills, and when it's over, I want to go watch Cliffhanger. This teaser trailer just makes me not want to watch The Predator. It doesn't sell the film, and you want to, and all the other teaser trailers for all the other Predator films were better too. Okay, the teaser trailer for Predator, the 1987 film, way better. The teaser trailer for
Yeah,
Predator
I
2.
remember. I remember the teaser to Predator, the first one. It had music from Aliens, and it was
Mm-hmm.
building up Arnold and how now this is something else he has
The
to
Ultimate
fight
Warrior
that's not
faces
of this
off
world.
against the Ultimate Hunter, or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it was a cool teaser trailer. I like the heat vision that they incorporated into the teaser as well. The teaser for Predator 2, short but
I found
sweet.
I found it. This is a little thing, but I found it strange they didn't even give a hint to like the music.
No,
You would think for a teaser they would do like the Predator music.
it was just
I mean, if it was
generic.
like a Star Wars teaser, if it was a Star Wars teaser, they'd have the Star Wars
Uh huh.
music, or if it was a try to think of another franchise, Die
Jurassic
Hard.
Park.
You'd have yeah, Die Hard. You have the Ode to Joy,
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic World. You'd have the whether piano away or, but here it's just I would ask people if they really liked the trailer, what specifically did you like about it? What specifics make you intrigued that you saw in the teaser? Otherwise, it's a waste of space.
Yeah.
So what are the specifics? Because we're given specifics as to what didn't work. The generic soundtrack, the
The humor.
weird casts, the humor, the terrible, goofy Disney-like opening that
It's a
you know
total
I'm like,
turn off. It really is. That's such an antithesis to what Predator is. It just opens up with some kid playing with a Predator spaceship. It's just like, is this a parody? Because that's what it felt like.
it could be the fuck. It could be a fucking teaser to a sequel to Frequency, where, and I like Frequency, but
Yeah.
it's like well, it's his kid, and he's going pew pew, and then they'll show him older. He's got a. It's it's ridiculous. It's
It
pathetic.
is. It is.
This is a franchise where you had dialogue about this stuff will make you a sexual goddamn tyrannosaurus,
Yeah.
or you cut off my dick and you shove it up my ass. And you fuck yourself, and
Well, that's how I feel about this teaser. Fuck yourself.
then this looks like it looks like a fucking Marvel movie almost.
And it also looks like a fan film. Like, it doesn't even look like that high of a budget when it comes to the production design or anything else. Like, it looks like a fan film with bad jokes, a weak cast, and just a overall the concept is also pretty awful. I don't like the idea of predators doing hybridization shit. Like, why do we need that? Like, didn't they already do that kind of in AVPR with the hybrid with the predator and the alien? So what? Now the predators, we have to do some retcon bullshit origin story for why the predators come to Earth and hunt, or why they hunt. We don't need that.
So is it Alien Covenant? Is David in this movie too?
Is David the fucking dumbass android gonna show up? He's responsible for that asshole's responsible for the predators as well. I would not be surprised. But
Movies like Alien Covenant or Ghostbusters reboot
uh,
or Michael Bay's Team and
or
T,
Robocock.
and the list goes on. RoboCop remake, reboot. There are prime examples as to why there's no reason for me or you to look forward to this. I don't care, shame. It even says from the director of Iron Man 3, which fucking sucks.
Yeah, that cracked me up. I was like, what, really? Like, from the director of Iron Man 3, you should have been like, from the writer of Predator, from the writer of these other movies that are better than Iron Man 3.
From the man who helped give you Lethal Weapon and
Yeah.
The Last Boy Scout, or not The Last Boy Scout, but
Yeah, he did. Remember, he wrote the script for that.
Okay. Even other films he directed, they're better than fucking
The Nice Guys, I
Iron
had
Man
some
3.
issues with it, but I like it more than Iron Man 3. And I
Me
mean, it's
too.
not like,
And what they think the people who love Iron Man 3, I guess, who really in the Marvel Iron Man 3 are going to see The Predator, which is almost the opposite. The opposite things. Like, I mean, well, you can like both, but it's like I want to see more of a Predator than fuck it.
a Marvel movie.
Even, I mean, you
Yeah.
should know just from the generic title, The Predator.
Yeah, that's a terrible
Like,
title,
that's how
too,
creative they are.
really. And the concept, the
That's
idea
how
that they're
creative.
going with, predators coming in and doing hybridization shit with human DNA. Let's explain shit that doesn't need to be explained and ruin the mystique. Like, and honestly, when predators came to hunt, they came to hunt. It was a part of a ritual. It was a part of a coming of age thing. Like, it was nothing to do
Wasn't
with.
there DNA stuff in Alien Covenant
Yeah.
and Prometheus?
Uh-huh. But also, I mean, if it's one of those
And that
things where
worked
it's
out
like a
so well.
renegade group of predators that's like breaking the laws and doing shit, okay, I can maybe work with that. It just depends on how it's handled. But from what I've seen the teaser, like, I don't know if that's going to be the case. And regardless, there's so many other stories that they could have done and adapted that are way better than whatever they came up with. that were already in Dark Horse Comics, which apparently
But
I think
wait a
Fox
minute.
still
Wait a minute.
owns.
Why would if there's more than one predator? Why is it called the Predator?
Yeah.
That'd be like Aliens, and they call it the Alien. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
Well,
unless
remember Texas Chainsaw 3D? Wasn't it just called Texas Chainsaw or something? It was just Texas Chainsaw.
3D, it's just Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Okay. I think sometimes though it's just Texas Chainsaw because if you don't have the 3D version, it's just Texas Chainsaw. Like there's no massacre.
I think on the DVD, it still says Texas
Okay.
Chainsaw 3D,
There's no massacre
even though it's
then.
not
It's just
3D.
it's
But
just a Texas Chainsaw in 3D. There's no massacre at all.
it shows how good that movie is. It's not false advertising. There is no massacre in the movie.
Or
He's in a fucking
yeah,
carnival and doesn't kill anybody.
yeah, you're right. Or the Final Destination. That's not really the Final Destination because it's basic. It's I think it's a prequel, right? So, but really, the Predator that was a dumb
No,
name.
that one. No, that was because lineage wise, that is the final.
Oh,
Because then
okay,
they did Final Destination 5, which was a
okay,
prequel.
all right, my bad. But
Still,
regardless, the Predator's still a
still a
dumb
lame
title.
title.
It's just lazy. It's just like the new Halloween, just being called
Lazy.
Halloween again. But yeah, like I was
Really?
saying, what the new Halloween's being called Halloween again, right? Isn't it?
Just that?
I think so, isn't it?
I didn't know that. That's lame.
I think it's just called Halloween, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong, but but I would not be surprised, considering how lazy they are lately with a lot of these titles. But going back to what I was saying earlier, like there was these Dark Horse comics that they could have adapted, like Concrete Jungle or Cold War, or some of these other ones that are already there that you could adapt and would have been better than whatever the screenwriters came up with. And I'm sorry, Fred. Yeah, it really does look bad. I'm rooting for him. I want him to make a comeback, but like maybe he was just one of those guys who was really talented and is really good with only one particular genre of film and can't really pull it off in any of the others. Or maybe he had lightning in a bottle twice and can't capture it again. Who knows? Regardless, this trailer sucked. It was just one of those trailers. It doesn't get your blood pumping. It doesn't get you excited for it. If anything, it makes you go limp. And I don't have any hope for it. I really don't. I mean, I'd love to be pleasantly surprised by it, but this teaser trailer definitely does not get me psyched to see this. And I've seen some people say they're looking forward to it just because it's another Predator film. I've actually seen that argument in the comments section. Someone's like, well, people should
I
just
know.
lighten up because, we're getting another Predator movie. And, so? Is that your standard? Is that where your bar is? Oh, it's just another Predator film. Quality doesn't matter.
So because it exists,
Therefore,
just because it
it
exists.
exists. That means it's worth a look. That means that it's worth it because they made it. I don't understand that concept or that belief. It seems to be like a growing belief lately, and that's worrisome to me. Just this whole like, oh, it's just a movie, give it a break, or it doesn't matter, whatever, and just giving a pass to too much shit, and then trying to be like, well, it's just a trailer, you can't judge it all based on a teaser trailer. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's why it's called a teaser trailer. It's supposed to sell you on the movie. If it doesn't do that, then it failed. Plain and simple.
Doesn't a teaser make you want to, if effective, see more?
Yeah.
Want to see more? I don't give a fuck of seeing more after
You're gonna
seeing
see more of the
this
kid.
bullshit.
See more of the stupid kid. Boyd Holbrook. And what's crazy about this, the Fox who made this teaser, they did the teaser for Logan, which was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal teaser trailer. And they couldn't copy that type of style or that type of editing or that quality for this.
Maybe maybe it's like we don't have shit to work with. So what are we going to do instead of just do something?
Yeah, something, because we have to reshoot half the movie because it was so shitty. The fucking 10-foot tall super predator, straight like it's straight out of Independence Day Resurgence. But yeah,
Well, I wonder what the fuck's going to be the ending now.
if you are looking forward to the Predator, to each their own. I love the Predator as a character, and I love the first two films. But since then, it's just been nothing but downhill. Just like RoboCop, the last good Predator film came out in 1990. The last good RoboCop film also came out in 1990. And both of those films were the second films in the franchise.
And the best Ninja Turtle film came out in 1990.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Predator. There's probably more things I could probably mention, but I just don't want to spend this entire podcast just talking about the Predator teaser trailer.
And again, it's not. Don't call the Predator. Call it the Pussifier. I mean, that's might as well it be.
Yeah, other than a little bit of blood, there really isn't a lot of edge to it either, which is worrisome to me. There was humor in the other Predator films.
More humor.
Yeah, the test screen said there was more humor, which is not a good sign. But humor itself isn't necessarily something that I feel doesn't belong in a Predator movie. It's the type of humor. Like in Predator or Predator 2, there were fun insults. There was witty banter back and forth between the characters. There was one-liners. But there wasn't stuff like what you see in this teaser. Which is,
you know what? It's the stuff you saw at the beginning of The Last Jedi.
Oh God, the fucking prank call on General Hux.
When those two guys, when Boyd Holbrook is being interrogated, and those two guys are looking at each other like, "Oh, he saw something, huh?"
Uh-huh.
And the other guy's like, "Yeah, huh?"
Yeah.
I would bet money on it.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, it's a missed opportunity. Like even it already looks like a missed opportunity. Like, well, you haven't seen it yet, but it just looks like a missed opportunity already. The cast is a whole bunch of miscasting all the way around. Boyd Holbrook is not a badass. I don't buy him in the role. I don't buy anybody in any of the roles they're playing in this. It's Predators all over again. With fucking, instead of big nose Adrian Brody trying to be a badass, it's Boyd Holbrook and Keegan-Michael Key.
What's sad, Adrian Brody looked better than this guy.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, Adrian Brody is Royce.
It's sad.
But we go from larger than life badass characters in Predator and Predator 2 to these characters, a whole bunch of nobodies. Whole bunch of slack-jawed nobodies. Just a bunch of fucking wimps. And a fucking kid.
Oh, you mean like Expendables 3?
Yeah.
Where you have a lot of nobodies.
Exactly.
new
You couldn't
nobodies.
have Dolph Lundgren in a Predator movie, or Jean Claude Van Damme, or anyone else. I mean, I mean, it's one of those things where I would have loved to seen like what a movie that could have had like a team of mercenaries go up against predators, like and have Van Damme and Lundgren and Gary Daniels and maybe even somebody like Stallone if they can get him, and cameo by Schwarzenegger. I'd rather see that, like the Expendables meets Predators. Sounds a lot better than this shit.
Yes. Yeah.
So, speaking of, let's actually talk about a trailer that we liked. For yeah, there's some trailers out there that we do like, folks. um, it's a recent trailer for a film called Searching. I'd never heard of this until now, and I really like this trailer. It stars John Chu, who you might recognize from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. So, Harold is playing a father who is trying to track down his missing teenage daughter. And I really like the way that this film is going to have its story unfold. It's from a POV perspective of this father trying to do research on the computer and trying to figure out things and so on and so forth. It's kind of like, it's not kind of, it is a thriller mystery version of Unfriended. And I really liked Unfriended, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I like John Cho. I see him in other stuff. He's been pretty good. And the idea, the aesthetic of it is interesting. I'm just hoping it's not one of those thrillers that pulls some off the wall twist
Yeah,
ending
yeah, I hope not either.
that like or one of those sequel window type
Oh
endings.
no. It's all in his head.
Uh, or he did it and he
Yeah,
just he
no.
just doesn't remember it until the end of the movie. But I would give it. It comes out, I guess, in August,
Hmm.
and I don't know if it'll be a why. For all I know, it'll be a straight to video movie. For all I know, or a limited release. Uh, I look forward to it, though. I'm curious about it.
I'm gonna look forward to that more than The Spy Who Dumped Me. Now, I did see the second trailer for it. It's a little bit better than the first trailer, but that's not saying much. Like, this one actually has some decent stunt work and might have some okay action sequences, but I don't think Mila Kunis and excuse me, just thinking about Kate McKinnon just makes me want to throw up. But Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon, I don't really think they have any chemistry. They have no chemistry with one another, and that shows. So that's not a good thing. And if you're trying to have a buddy dynamic and they don't have any chemistry, you're fucked. You really are. Now, apparently, Solo, a Star Wars story, has some nice early buzz. People are saying it's fun. It's a fun heist movie. I don't know. I'll believe that
I
when
don't
I
give
see
a
it.
fuck.
And I don't really
People,
care. Yeah. They said a lot of same things about The Force
people
Awakens or
like
Rogue One or
Last
Last Jedi,
Jedi.
so I'll give that a shot someday, but I don't think I'm going to want to see that in the theater. Like, especially since I'm going to be seeing Deadpool 2 next week. I don't think I want to be seeing Solo, but who knows? I don't know. It depends on what mood I am in or if I don't have anything else to watch, which that's not going to be the case because I have plenty of things to watch. So I won't have to worry about that. Speaking of Deadpool 2, the brilliant advertising is continuing. There was a fun promo, sort of not really promo, fun little skit between Deadpool and David Beckham. I thought was pretty funny. Ryan Reynolds even mentioned a early film that he was in called Bolt Neck, which I was just shocked that he even mentioned that. I thought that was really clever to mention some really obscure film like he did early in his career, and it's like Bolt Neck was a masterpiece. They're talking about because Beckham starts insulting all these other movies he was in. Um, and he also did another thing where he's defending Canada, and there were a few other TV spots that came out that were a lot of fun. I read that the screenings went well for the recent screenings for Deadpool 2. And the more I think about it, the stuff with Vanessa, it doesn't really bother me anymore. It depends on how they, like I said earlier, it depends on how they do it. And if it ends up adding some more weight to the film and to the story and to the character of Wade Wilson, I'm all for it. It's not like Vanessa was some super strong character that if she's gone, Deadpool is just going to fall apart. I mean, I really don't think she was that strong of a character. But yeah, I heard a lot of good things from the screening, and I'm really looking forward to the film. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. I know I'm setting my standards pretty high for this one. My expectations are pretty high, but they should be. I mean, Deadpool was a great film, so I'm expecting another great movie. I'm not expecting a film that's going to be better than the first, but if it is, cool. But I'm not expecting something that's lesser quality than the first film, especially an average film. I will be extremely disappointed if that's the case, if it's an average movie. But I heard that it really does live up to its R rating, which is a great thing to hear. The action is better, which is another great thing to hear. So, yeah, I will definitely see whether or not all of this stuff that I've heard is true for myself next Friday. So, speaking of things that are basically, well, I don't know if they're too good to be true, but it's stuff that's not going to happen. Um, and I don't know how that ties in with what I said earlier, but whatever, it's live. Fuck it. So, there's a Tremors TV show that was canceled at Sci-Fi, and Kevin Bacon was returning to the cast, returning to play the role that he played in Tremors, Valentine McKee. And there was a teaser trailer that leaked on the internet for this pilot. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it because Kevin Bacon was definitely not sleepwalking through the role. I like the idea of returning to perfection all these years later, and it looked a lot better than Tremors Cold Day in Hell, which actually did get made and did get released. And it looked better than The Predator. So, I mean, I don't know, have you seen it? I mean, I really liked the song choices too. They used Blaze of Glory, and I don't know about the Beck song Loser, but it kind of did fit. But really, I felt Blaze of Glory though was a great song choice by Bon Jovi.
Uh, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I didn't like the idea that they ignore some of the sequels, like part
Yeah,
two,
yeah,
and they seem like only the first one existed. And it seemed, I don't know about the supporting actors either. It seemed like no
yeah. They
one
they were
else
they were kind of weak.
returned except Kevin Bacon. I mean, if you made it, you might as well release it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about
I
it.
don't see what's, but I mean, I can't say I'm bummed about it either.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not.
I
Not.
think you liked it more than me.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I have to be honest, but I mean, I could see why you feel that way. You know, ignoring. I don't agree with that. The whole ignoring. the other films. That seems to be a new thing. Let's just ignore the other sequels, Texas Chainsaw, the new Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, this Tremors TV show. It's like none of those existed. Here's a mind wiping thing. You know, here's a neuralizer. None of that happened. But the neuralizer doesn't work because you're like, no, it did happen. I saw it and I've seen it many times. So, what are you trying to pull here? I have Halloween 2. I can watch Halloween 2 and not Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and fucking White Horse and Brad Dourif saying fuck 50 billion times. No, I'm not I'm not talking about that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying for a Sci-Fi Channel series, it looked like a pretty good quality. And I like the whole aspect of Kevin Bacon returning to the role, and that's why I was kind of curious about it. But um,
Did they come out and say why they didn't pick it up?
no, I'm
Hmm.
guessing maybe budget wise, maybe they didn't feel it was good enough. I don't know. I can't say anything because I haven't seen the pilot.
Mhm.
Speaking of
It will
sequels,
probably not get released, just like that Beverly Hills Cop pilot with Eddie Murphy long ago.
yeah, but
That
at
never
least we
got
actually did
released.
see footage of somewhat of the Tremors pilot, unlike the Beverly Hills Cop one, which never saw any footage of that. I remember
Which
seeing some
why
on-set photos.
why
That's
would you
it.
make a why would you make a trailer if you don't know if you're going to have a show?
Well, remember the Tales from the Crypt thing for TNT? They made a trailer too, and that never happened either.
But that's the thing. I mean, why do that if they haven't greenlit a show? What's the point? When you want to be sure first you have a show before going into making a trailer?
Well, I mean, yeah, that does make sense, but I guess nowadays with social media, they just do a lot of shit ahead of time, and usually it works out, but in this case, it didn't. Now, speaking of sequels, Bad Boys for Life is apparently still alive. It got a new release date in 2020, and I don't know about this. I really don't. Like, the original director was some guy I never even heard of, and he got fired, so I don't know who they're replacing him with. And I've heard rumors that it could be a threequel, which is like it's a prequel and a sequel, which I'm not a fan of. Like that stupid Die Hard Year One bullshit.
I don't know if they'll ever be made because, I mean, for budget reasons, for Will Smith reasons.
Martin Lawrence
I
reasons.
mean, well, I mean, Martin Lawrence, what's he doing
That's what I'm
nowadays?
saying. Like Martin Lawrence
I think
reasons
he'd
because
be.
he's not a big draw anymore. So I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be against. Like, that's a sequel I wouldn't be against because at least there's only been two movies, and I
Yeah.
like the two movies, but you need a good director. And then when your release date, what was it, January
Uh huh.
of 2020? Why January? Isn't that like the worst month to put out a big movie
They don't have any
when
hope.
you haven't even written the
They don't have
script
any
yet?
faith in the project. That's why. We'll just
Then
dump
why?
it in January.
Then why are you making it? You haven't even written the script and you're already
Because
dumping
bad
it.
boys,
What
bad
sense does that make?
boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you this January?
That that should be a summer release. Easily a summer
Well, I
release movie.
agree, but maybe they're just thinking, oh, let's just release something with Bad Boys in the title to
What
get some cheap
what
shekels.
company owns that?
Sony.
Well, there you go. Sony, the save Sony that 10 times you hear is ready to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
That's Sony.
Yep, that's Sony.
I'm surprised they haven't gone bankrupt.
They're
The
doing a
movie
reboot of Men in
division.
Black as well. I heard they're not completely retconning the whole series, but it's just a reboot with a new series of agents. Chris Hemsworth is rumored to play one of them, and some other guy. I don't remember who it was.
So it's not the 21 Jump Street
No, I wish. I,
mix.
I would have liked to have seen that. I know a lot of people are like, that's a dumb idea. I'm like, I think that's clever. Those two have excellent chemistry, and that could be really fun and unique. Nope. Let's just do a lame reboot thing. And speaking of lame, of course you have Cobra Kai, which I haven't seen yet, but I flipped through some episodes. It just isn't really, I don't know, it seems like a show that's for an audience that I'm not a part of anymore. I'm not a tween. I'm not a preteen anymore. Doesn't seem like it's a show for me. And I do not like the approach that they're taking when it comes with when it comes to Daniel's character. Just some asshole, sleazy car salesman. Great.
From the comments I've gotten, a lot of people who do enjoy the show, they say that he's not a villain like the trailer made out to be,
Okay, that's good.
but at the same time, the first two episodes for free, they did nothing for me. The supporting characters, the I mean, it's
Some of the performances
I don't
from what
see
I've
the fucking
seen are
point of it.
okay, but are pretty decent, like Billy Zabka and so on. But yeah, yeah. What is the point exactly?
And it's just like, why? It's just depressing now that I think about it. Daniel, after all that's gone on with Crytek Part 2, he's just a car salesman
Yeah,
who is so butthurt that a fucking thing's opening that he has a grudge from whatever the hell the grudge is. He opened that, so I got. Why? Why do you care? You won. Johnny gave you the fucking trophy at the end of the first
you
film,
had
and
the
then you fought
glory
to
of
the death
love. You had the
in the
glory
second
of
film.
love. Damn it! You shouldn't be this sad. Where's the girl? Like, what
Why? I
happened to
mean, and
her? What happened to the Japanese? She just disappear? Like, they're no longer together? Like, I guess that happened in the part three, right?
part
I don't. I
that
don't.
piece of shit part three happened where there was another girl, but there's no romance because he was 30 years old in real life, so he can't be kissing some younger
No,
girl because it'd be creepy. So literally, the romance went nowhere. Where she,
I forgot
she
about
like
that.
dumped him, or he like they like there's maybe it wasn't a dumping, but they really went nowhere. And then he got his
You could have
ass
at least
kicked
had
and won
had
by one punch.
You could have at least had Daniel get back together with the girl from part two in this series.
Yeah, but part two's awful. Apparently,
How is part two awful? Part two is my favorite film in the series.
that was a comment I got. That was a comment I got that part two was the worst.
What? I'm sorry.
That's a comment I got. That's what I was told. Part two's the worst, and that it's part three was better.
Somebody does not have the glory of love.
I, there are some people who love part three, to each their own. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I hated that film so much I threw it out my
He be,
window.
he forgets everything that he's learned from the first two movies. He becomes a fucking useless
Yeah, he's a fucking
pussy.
pussy.
He has a romance that goes nowhere. You could tell he's 30 years fucking old, but it's called The Karate Kid. And then he gets his ass kicked repeatedly just to win by one fucking punch,
Yeah.
which is the lamest fucking.
Hmm.
That's like watching a Rocky movie and he wins by throwing one punch.
That'll happen in Creed
That's how
2.
fucking lame.
Creed's son will win with one punch. It'll be like the finger poke of doom.
Oh, the one where Rocky will die. I'm
Yeah,
calling it here.
it'll be like the finger poke of
That's my
doom,
guess.
and it'll just
Rocky
be
will die in Creed 2.
it'll be the finger punch of doom to Drago's son. Just boop, falls down. Count it out. It's over. Creed wins the championship.
Speaking of Creed 2, I'm not saying this will definitely happen, but again, a good guess. Rocky will die in Creed 2.
Yeah, would not
He'll
be
die from the
surprised.
cancer. And
I,
then he's got to fight for his manager.
yeah.
And that's his will to overcome Ivan Drago's son.
Hmm. Or
I could be
Rocky will get
wrong,
in
but
the
that's my
ring
guess.
and fight Drago again, and Drago will kill him, and then
So exactly like Rocky 4. And kill Creed, kill Apollo, and then kill Rocky. Yeah.
if he
I told you,
does,
if he dies, he
yeah,
dies.
I told you, if he dies, he dies. But yeah, we'll see. We'll
And yet
see.
people wonder why we don't look forward to films like The Predator. This is the shit they do.
Or Rambo
You can easily
5.
see them doing.
Speaking of Stallone, Rambo 5.
Yeah, that's why I do not look forward to it. I don't care about Mexican cartels. That seems like a fucking direct-to-video movie from the 90s. And
Now, if it was PM Entertainment
Rambo
doing
4
some
ended
movie
it
with
perfectly.
Stallone, that would be cool. But that's no, it's not happening.
Rambo 4 ended it full circle. I love all four Rambo films. I don't want a bad fifth film to taint it.
It's kind of like with Rocky 5. I don't want a bad fifth Rambo movie to taint the franchise, or Die Hard 5. That's a recent example. I really like all four Die Hard films. Not so
Yeah,
much with A Good Day to Die Hard. A Good Day to Fail
I
Hard.
wanted to like it, but I wanted to
Well,
like
me
it,
too. I
but
saw it in the theater, and
it's not a
I was in the same boat as you. Then I watched it again. I'm like, this sucks. This really is not a good movie. The
because you're a
concept,
fan and want it to be good.
yeah. The concept with Rambo 5 isn't necessarily the worst thing ever. It's just, why does it have to be a Rambo movie? Can we just have, like, Stallone versus a cartel and not a Rambo movie? Wow, what a novel concept, right?
Because the last time yeah, but the last time Mexican cartel comes in my head is fucking Sabotage.
But there's been what I was thinking is Sicario. That's really what I think. Sicario, those films, the sequel coming out, Soldado,
I
with
haven't I haven't seen it,
which
so
looks really good. I really am looking forward to Sicario too. Um, those came out
I haven't seen
recently.
Sicario, so
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's understandable why you wouldn't think of Sicario, but I do because they're fairly recent films. The sequel's coming out this year, so the Mexican cartel thing is kind of in. Um, More so than the KKK group, which was what one of the other rumored scripts for a Rambo sequel was before John Rambo, before Rambo 4. It sounds like it's just that script
Then just base it
reworked.
off Hunter.
Yeah. But
I don't
speaking of
give a fuck
that,
what people bitching about. Do the fucking Hunter script that you wanted to do. Doesn't have to be a Rambo film. Just do Hunter.
yeah.
Or make it a Rambo film. Either way. Or just do Hunter that you want to do for a
Or
while.
if you want to do the
I think a
cartel
lot of
thing, just do
fans.
something different. Fuck, I'd rather see a Cobra sequel with him going up against the Mexican cartel than a Rambo sequel.
The cartel thing does really nothing for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him do a script like Hunter, so he's never done before.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
Never done,
Kind of like a
a
Stallone versus a
horror
Predator type
sci-fi.
of movie. Yeah. That would be cool.
Or do what was the movie from back in the day that he
Isobar?
didn't get to do?
Isobar.
You should do that today. You should do Isobar today. His character doesn't need to be a young guy. He could play the same character and do Isobar today. And he would be even more of an underdog
Yeah,
because
I
of his
agree.
age. And if he's supposed to be, a scientist or something, or I forget what his actual, uh, what his role
Uh-huh.
was. It wasn't a scientist. I forget what it was. It was like, whatever it was, it could play off with the age he is nowadays.
I
And
agree.
it's not like it wouldn't be like a punching, kicking movie that wasn't what Isobar was meant to be. You could do that today, Isobar, or go for Hunter. Don't waste your time with escape plan sequels. Don't fuck. Why are you fucking with Creed again when Rocky Balboa ended it perfectly? Why are you fucking with Rambo when you ended it full circle and that was the point
Does he
that
still
you
need
made the
money?
movie
Is
in the
that it?
first
Does
place?
Stallone still need money? Like, is he paying off debt collectors or some shit, or is his family, is
And
his lifestyle too expensive? Is he cashing checks that he doesn't have anymore? I don't know. It's like just taking all these different
and
roles.
that's the thing. Like I mean, my username shows how much of a fan of Rambo, but because of so many consistent wave of sequels and reboots that Terminator, Alien,
I don't know why they're
Predator,
doing another Terminator. I don't
RoboCop,
care if the actor who played Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is playing a Terminator in it. We don't need another fucking Terminator movie. Terminate this franchise. In fact, it's already been terminated as far as I'm concerned.
that's the thing. Like Stallone or Schwarzenegger with that, they have so little remaining movies that they'll be able to do
I want to see Stallone do a serious
because
drama again. I want to see him do something like Copland again. I want to see him direct again. I think he could be the next Clint Eastwood and direct Oscar nominated films. He's that talented of a director. And I really, seeing him do stuff like Escape Plan 2, which probably won't even get a theatrical release. I'll be surprised if it does.
no, I mean it's the guy directing it. He's a shitty director, and all his stuff goes direct to video.
Yeah.
Stephen C. Miller.
Uh-huh.
He did like Automaton, Transfusion, and all these
Oh, he did
bullshit,
Automaton
crappy
Transfusion?
movies.
Oh, wow. Stallone? Why are you fuck you working with that guy? Why are you slumming with the Automaton Transfusion guy? That's... Well, I mean, Schwarzenegger fucking killing Gunther, where he masquerades as a fucking woman and bangs some guy and then sings country music and just spouts off the same fucking stupid cliche lines I'm sick and tired of from Arnold. Get to the chopper. Just silence. It's just like, because you're speechless. Because you're
Well,
like,
okay,
just,
he did. Stephen Miller did one movie you liked. It was Sight from 2012.
What again?
But
Your signal kind of cut out there.
he uh he did Silent Night.
Oh yeah, yeah, I didn't mind that, but
Stephen C.
it
Miller did
wasn't a
Silent
great film. But yeah, I mean the highlight with that movie was the cinematography, which he probably had nothing to do with, and the gore, the practical gore that was in it. But yeah, with Rambo 5, yeah, it's just like one of those things. It's like Rambo 4 ended things really well. You don't really need another one, and it just seems like it's just a cash grab at this point. Where's the passion? I know Stallone did Rambo 4 because he felt maybe Rambo 3 wasn't the best ending to the series, and he felt the same way about Rocky Balboa, and that's why he did those films. Not just, oh, just ride the coattails of my future successes or just get more money for paychecks and shit. I mean, there was this video that I thought was kind of sad where he went to a prop house that he had, it was like a, not really a prop house, but like it was a storage facility, and he's selling all of his props.
I saw that there was a Demolition Man suit
Yeah,
and
the rhinestone
his
jacket and Rocky memorabilia and stuff like that, and I'm like, is he that hard up for
did
cash now?
did he
Like,
s- that's what I was going to ask. Did he say why he was selling it?
I'm thinking it was part of it might have been for. I don't know if part of it was for charity or not. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was auctioning off all of that stuff. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe his paintings aren't selling that much, or all those other business opportunities. Stallone pudding and pens didn't work out. Should have known better. Like that.
Pudding.
Yeah, remember he had pudding, protein pudding.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I actually tried it. It was shit. It tasted like shit. It was awful. It was like, you know, special pudding for athletes or something. My stepdad got me some because I was a fan of Stallone, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't even finish it because this just tastes like shit. Sorry, love you, Stallone, but
What's the flavor?
it was like chocolate, but like it's like a protein pudding, so it's got that weird fucking aftertaste or texture to it. It's just
So,
gross.
is it just a bunch of powder and a pudding cup? Like protein powder
No, like there it
in a
actually
pudding
was.
cup
It
that
was actually pudding in like a metal pop top thing. Yeah, it wasn't powder, but I think he also might have sold powder for something too. Because I have an issue of Sly magazine, which is another failed thing. Lasted like 6 issues. But I'm glad I have one issue at least. I think I have the debut issue, I think. But yeah, 6 issues. Stallone wasn't a big enough name at that time to sell magazines. Go figure. But yeah, I just want him to either retire. I mean, especially for Schwarzenegger, like he's even older than Stallone. Like, just retire while you still have your dignity. There's not a lot of it left right now after killing Gunther.
or at least pitch your projects more carefully,
Yeah.
a lot more
At least
carefully
with Aftermath
than
or Maggie, he was trying to do something different and do more serious
yeah.
roles, and I will give Arnold credit for that. Stuff like Killing Gunther, like why? And with Stallone, Escape Plan 2,
Like Matt,
why?
like Maddie. When I saw Maddie, I didn't like the movie, but I could even say Arnold was good in it.
Mm-hmm.
Not fucking Terminator Genesis when he's smiling in a fucking mudshot with Bad Boys music playing.
Yeah.
You go from a psychopath that, not a cyborg that punches holes through people, slasher movie to Mudshot smiling with Bad Boys, What You Gonna Do playing.
Yeah.
That's how far it's gone.
Well, I mean, you had signs of that already in the deleted scenes in Terminator 3, with Sergeant Candy. So,
Deleted for a reason.
and then also in Terminator 3 with that stupid talk to the hand bullshit with wearing the stupid disco glasses.
Well, I'm not a big fan of Terminator 3 either.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, just pick the projects better, and with Stallone, just do some, I mean, serious work, like direct a drama again. Do that drama about that. What he was trying, he one of his dream projects is do a film about Edgar Allan Poe. Do that movie.
Didn't he want to direct a movie about Tupac? Like
Yeah, or
that
something
whole
like
thing that
that.
happened
And
at
there's
one point?
another like movie he was gonna star in or something, but I haven't heard anything about it. It was like a drama with like some gangster kind of thing, and that didn't go anywhere. But yeah, that's it's just, I mean, yeah, we're rambling, but we're passionate about Stallone and Schwarzenegger and stuff like that. We don't want to see them continue to slum their way through these projects.
Do Tango and Cash too, if you want to do sequels.
Or Cobra 2 or Demolition Man 2. But anyway, speaking of revivals or reboots or whatever, there's going to be a SCTV reunion directed by Martin Scorsese, which I think is interesting. And it's a reunion special coming to Netflix. Joe Flaherty, Eugene Levy, Andrea Martin, Catherine O'Hara, Martin Short, and Dave Thomas are all going to be there, as well as Rick Moranis. It's not going to be the same without John Candy, but I think I'm looking forward to this because I like SCTV and I had a lot of fun with their characters and their skits. We're definitely going to see more of Bob and Doug McKenzie because Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas are going to be there. So I'm curious to see that. It's supposed to come out sometime in 2019.
Was Harold Ramis part of that too back in the day?
I think he was more of Second City when it comes to on stage. I don't think he was a part of the TV show. I know Harold
Hmm.
Ramis is involved with National Lampoon, I think as well, but I could be wrong. There's some movie coming out called Revenge. Have you heard about this? It's from some first-time French filmmaker named Coralie Farragut. And
No.
the trailer that I saw on Facebook is some of the worst, most tone deaf advertising you'll ever see. It basically focused on what may or may not be real comments on YouTube from people being misogynistic and saying stupid shit like, oh, women should just be the kitchen or women aren't tough enough or whatever, and blah 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 blah. And then the teaser trailer shows this woman and she's got a gun, a shotgun, and it's a rape revenge movie and she's got a little bit of blood on her, and then I'm like, this trailer sucks. Not only because it's tone deaf with its advertising, taking a page out of Ballbusters with this whole like, oh, look at these misogynistic fucking people, man. The trailer itself sucks because it doesn't show anything badass. It doesn't prove these people wrong. If you're going to show these people being misogynist a-holes and saying this shit, talking about women are weak and da 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 da, don't give me a trailer where she doesn't do anything. For fuck's sake. What were you thinking there? You weren't thinking there. Hello, McFly. There's nothing up there. Except flies buzzing around. Because your brain is rotten. Speaking of rotten shit, Shout Factory is finally going to be releasing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie on Blu-ray, but with a catch. It's only going to be available on a $150 box set with the other DVDs of the other TV series, and that's the only way you're going to be able to get it. Which I'm like, why? Like, I mean, is this a new thing that Shout Factory is doing now? Just price gouging the fuck out of people, basically tying people up and being like, hey, you only have one option now. Put up or shut up. Pay up or shut up. You ain't getting shit if you don't pay. It's one of those things that's like, what is going on here? Is this a licensing thing? Like, I heard something that there was some licensing thing, that issue with one of the other shows that they released. So maybe this is what that is. If that's the case, then fuck you, Fox or Saban or Hasbro or whoever owns it, because this is bullshit. I don't want the whole series. I just want the movie. I don't like the other Power Rangers shows. I really don't. I just want the film because it's a guilty pleasure that I grew up on. If I can't get it on Blu-ray, fine. I'll just keep my DVD then, and you're not going to get my money. I don't understand why they don't think it's a good idea to release it separately. It's a fairly popular film for 90s kids. It's like if you just if you were like, oh, we're going to release a special edition of the 1990 Ninja Turtles film, but only in a box set with all of the other Ninja Turtles stuff, and you have to pay $500 fucking dollars for it. That's the only way you're going to get it. Or the unrated cut.
I can see that happening.
Or the unrated cut of Live Free or Die Hard. You can get it on Blu-ray, Matt, but only in the Nakatomi Plaza set. Buy this fucking giant fucking Nakatomi Plaza replica, pay $150, and then you can get it.
Fuck that.
But yeah, I just thought that was pretty lame. There's a cool upcoming release, though. MVD is going to be releasing Split Second. It's about damn time.
I hope nothing gets delayed or anything. Because a lot of times you hear these, and then you're like, what the hell happened? Like, Seven Films was supposed to be releasing The Changeling. I don't know what happened with that.
I think it's...
The Unnameable was supposed to get...
The Unnameable, yeah, I don't know what's going on
The
with
Unnameable was supposed to get released. So I just, I hope... Although MVD, at least... I've seen them releasing stuff like Lionheart, which is coming out.
They're going to be releasing...
And Abominable.
Return of the Swamp Thing they just released, and then they're going to be releasing Bram Stoker's Shadow Builder.
And then I guess also Nemesis.
Which is cool.
As well.
I'm all for that. I hope what they
That's
do with
very
Split
cool.
Second and Nemesis, though, they don't use the same print, the same transfer that Oliver Krekel did. Split Second is better than his other ones, but this fucking guy does not know how to do sound mixes properly. I mean, this is a serious problem. At least from what I've noticed with the Blu-rays that I have. Like, I checked out Angel Town. It looks fantastic. The sound sucks. I have to turn it up way too loud to really get any kind of dynamic, and there barely is any at all. It doesn't matter what track I use, 5.1, 2 point whatever, Dolby Digital, doesn't matter. It still sounds flat. So he doesn't know how to remaster films for the most part usually, and he doesn't know how to do features the right way because he shoots it in a fucking broom closet with shitty audio, and he doesn't know how to do an audio mix properly. So I hope MVD is doing their own remastering of a print and doing the same thing with Nemesis, because if they don't, Split Second will look okay, will look pretty good, but will sound and Nemesis will look like shit because the Blu-ray of Nemesis is worse than the DVD. Because you got all that fucking DNR and shit, so. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
And I hope there's a decent amount of features. Like, I would love to hear Rucker's thoughts. The other guy, I forgot his name, who was the co-star.
Neil
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 Duncan.
Duncan,
Yeah.
aka Neil Alistair Duncan, who I think was the voice of Alfred in one of the Batman
Yeah, I would
cartoons.
love to hear his thoughts on it.
Forget which one.
And maybe the other director who was fired or something, and then hear his thoughts, and Kim Cattrall, like anybody you can
The guy
get.
who directed the guy who directed The Burning. I think he was the director who got fired, and then the other guy who filmed, I guess, the ending or
Hmm.
something. Be nice to hear the story about that. What happened?
I agree. Like that would be pretty cool. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. It's one of those like wait and see type deals. DC is considering doing a Harley Quinn film, and they're bouncing back and forth on maybe doing an R-rated Harley Quinn movie. Definitely not looking forward to it then. Just like who cares?
Only if it's a porno.
Well, I thought you didn't mind Harley Quinn though in Suicide Squad.
I no, in seriousness, I didn't mind her in Suicide Squad, but DC's track record is
It's
zero.
dick cheese.
There's none of them I really liked, from Man of Steel to fucking Justice League.
Even
I
Suicide
can't really
Squad
say I
sucked.
liked
Yeah.
any of them,
Man of Steel, the more and more I think
so
about it, it's
I
like one of
can't
those
really say I
films
look
that I
forward to it.
think I gave it more of a pass because Batman vs Superman was so fucking terrible. I was like, oh, in comparison, it's not that bad, but I don't know. I don't think I'll like it nearly as much if I watch it again. It's kind of how I feel about Nolan's films. Like, cause if I watch Burton's films again and then watch Nolan's films and be like, you know what, Burton's films have a lot of things that Nolan's films are missing. But if they really do go R-rated with it and they have some kind of Deadpool vibe mixed with Kick-Ass or something like that, I think that could work. But we'll have to see. I just hope it doesn't end up being like Sucker Punch because that would really suck.
Or like Suicide Squad, they kind of tried to do it with that.
Well, that should have been R-rated anyway. It's a group of villains. Should not have been PG-13.
Right.
So, yeah, Avengers: Infinity War is a huge hit. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. I might. I don't know. We'll see. Don't really know what else to say about Infinity War. I know a lot of people are emotional about the ending, and for me, I'm like, I saw it coming a mile away because I've actually read the comics. I'm sorry, but I mean, it could still be emotional. I get it, but I'm like, it's not shocking to me. It isn't. I've read the comics. I'm glad they actually went there. They had the balls to do it. Good. They stuck to their guns and were like the comics. In the comics, Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, Thanos doesn't fuck around. Heroes die right and left, and the filmmakers were like, "Yep, we're gonna go there." Good. I'm glad. Now there are other fans who aren't really fans of Marvel. They're fans of the Marvel movies who see this and are like, "Oh, this is bullshit. Fuck this movie. Boo." And and they don't really, if you've read the comics, you know that things are gonna, do you really think that all these heroes are gonna remain dust? They're gonna come back. Some of them are. They're signed up for sequels. There's a loophole already with the time stone. Relax. It's gonna be okay.
Spoiler alert.
Come on, it's been out for like a week or two already. Like everybody and the mother's probably already seen this. My
I know, I'm
stepfather saw this movie already. I haven't seen Infinity War yet, and my stepdad saw it before I did. But I guess I'm just one of those like I don't give a shit modes tonight. I really don't. Do not give no fucks. Speaking of I don't give a fuck, Clayne Crawford apparently is a dickhead and he got fired from the Lethal Weapon TV show. Don't care because I don't give a shit about the
Who's
show.
that?
The guy who played the Mel Gibson character in the Lethal Weapon TV show. He got fired because he was being a douche.
Yeah, fired.
Yeah.
So are they canceling the show then, or are they
They're thinking about
replacing
trying to
him?
replace him, but really they should just cancel it.
They'll get Mel Gibson. They'll go play off against David Wayans. Or maybe they'll sweet talk Chris Hemsworth since he's Australian.
We'll see. But I find that funny that this guy's playing Riggs and he's being a dick and being an asshole on set and being inappropriate, and it's a character that Mel Gibson played and was famous for, and then Mel Gibson's career later in his life he does some inappropriate shit and acts like a douchebag and basically gets fired. So the cycle repeats itself apparently. I wonder if he called some of the female members on the set sugar tits. But anyway, speaking of, well, things that aren't really that bad or stuff that I actually care about, we have Sherlock Holmes 3, which I guess is confirmed now. It's going to be released in 2020 on Christmas. So, nice little present. I really liked the first two, and I was wondering when they're going to do another one, and even Robert Downey Jr. is tweeting stuff like, I want to do another one, let's go. Like, wait. I mean, if Robert Downey Jr. is like, I want to do one, then you should do it. And apparently, Warner Brothers is like, all right. And Jude Law is going to come back too, and they have great chemistry, and I'm really looking forward to it. And we'll see if Guy Ritchie can get up off the ground, you know, after his string of flops lately. That has not been pretty at all. King Arthur, and there's a new Robin Hood film with Taron Egerton. I like Taron Egerton. I do. I like him in the Kingsman films. This trailer wasn't very good. It looked like another King Arthur, Legend of King Arthur movie, and that didn't work. That really did not work, that style. Audiences didn't care for that, so I don't know why the company that's doing Robin Hood thinks that it will work. Apparently they're doing a Hitman's Bodyguard sequel. It's called The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I don't know about that title, but I was pleasantly surprised by The Hitman's Bodyguard. So, we'll see. And by that title, I guess it's insinuating that we will see more of Salma Hayek's character. And I'm all for that, because she was great. She almost stole the show.
I enjoy that movie, so I look forward to it.
And
maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, maybe. And there's one more sequel I want to talk about, and then one more upcoming reboot I want to discuss, and then we will call it a podcast. Bill and Ted 3, aka Bill and Ted Face the Music. We've talked about this before, I think, in the podcast. Like, why aren't they going to make this? Why aren't studios funding them? And apparently MGM had a sit down with Alex and Keanu and Ed Solomon and Chris Matheson and so on and so forth, and they got a deal done, and it's looking like there's going to be a Bill and Ted 3. Now, this could be another Ghostbusters 3 situation where, we're going to start shooting in this certain particular time, and then that time never happens. I hope that's not the case, because in this article from Collider, which this is actually a pretty good article interview with Ed Solomon, which is something you normally don't associate with Collider. But Ed Solomon, he was interviewed by one of the people who work at Collider, and they asked him some questions about the film, and he was talking about how they originally didn't want to do it because they were working on doing a reboot, and it was something to do with cell phones instead of telephone booths. And I was like, oh god, that just sounds shitty. And he was like, thankfully they didn't do it. I'm like, yeah, thankfully that didn't happen. Because there's only one Bill and Ted. There's only one dynamic duo, and it's Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter. Okay, there's no other Bill and Ted. They've tried it many times and failed. Did you forget about the shitty live action TV series on Fox in the 90s? That was terrible. It was horrible. We don't need another cast or other people trying to recapture Bill and Ted. We don't need that. It's not excellent. It's totally heinous. And we don't need some gender swap bullshit either, which is might have been what they probably were trying to do. Some two trendy girls with fucking cell phones, time traveling and FaceTiming and doing Instagram posts and selfies and shit. Thankfully, it's
So
not what
like
happened.
Like Jill and Meg,
um,
Jill and Meg's Most Excellent Adventure.
but there are going to be some the girls are gonna there's going to be some female characters in Bill and Ted Face the Music, and but they're going to be Bill and Ted's daughters. Now, I've heard some people say like, "Oh, well, they had sons at the end of Bogus Journey." Yeah, but this is supposed to take place years later, so I think they had kids again. I think these are the other kids that Bill and Ted and the princesses had, and their boys are all grown up and don't want anything to do with them and don't want to help them with this journey or something or off doing something else. So, what I'm looking forward to about this is that everyone involved has a deep passion for this project and for this sequel. They've been trying to do it for a long time, like 10 years, and they've been hashing ideas back and forth, and they were never in it for the money. Even Ed Solomon and Chris Matheson and Keanu and Alex were like, we never really did any of this for the money. Bill and Ted, they weren't really huge box office hits, those films. The first film was a surprise little sleeper hit. The second movie didn't really do that great. These were films that, I mean, Ed Solomon and Chris Matheson don't even get royalties, apparently, for these films. So they don't even really make that much off of the Bill and Ted brand. They just, they know it had a cult following and they know that there's a big fan base, and apparently MGM has started to listen to that because there are a lot of people who are like, no, we don't want to see a reboot. We want to see what the guys are going to come up with. They want to do it. They're passionate about it, and that goes a long way. And I really hope it does get made because, for better or worse, there's at least going to be passion involved here, and this sequel is going to have a soul. Whether or not it's going to be great, I don't know. We'll see. But I have a good feeling about it because of the people involved and how there's that spirit, there's that energy, there's that soul behind the sequel, which there isn't a lot of nowadays when it comes to sequels. And I like the idea of them going,
Yeah,
they're older and they have to figure out what the song is that's supposed to change the world. And I know it seemed like that was the case at the end of Bogus Journey, but maybe that didn't really happen. And it's years later, and they got to try to figure it out. And if they don't, space-time continuum is going to go haywire, and they bring their daughters along for the ride. And I just think, and they got to recapture their youth or their zest and love for life and be excellent again. And I like that. I've always liked the simple message of these films. Be excellent to one another. That's something that a lot of people could definitely learn from nowadays. So yeah, it's refreshing to see a sequel like this years later, that the original cast and crew are up for it and want to do it.
yeah. I'm definitely curious about it. I'll definitely wait for a trailer
Yeah,
to. But I mean, it's definitely something I'm intrigued by. Just Keanu and Alex and the original writers all working on it together
hmm,
makes it that much more interesting.
for sure. And yeah, it just shows you how much Keanu still loves this character and loves this franchise. I mean, he doesn't feel ashamed of it, which I love. I love that he's not like, oh, everybody making fun of me and thinking I'm some shitty actor because of these films. I don't want anything to do with Ted. No, like he's like, no, Ted's cool, and then he's still really close friends with Alex, and I think that's really awesome that they are still maintaining this excellent bodacious friendship after all these years. Even with Keanu is John Wick, he's the Baba Yaga, he's the boogeyman, and he's still willing to do another Bill and Ted. This shows you how cool of a guy Keanu is. Like he's you know unflappable, he's unfazed. He's like he does, he's just chill, and he's like I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and I want to do this, so let's do it. Now, stuff that I don't want to see get made. That's where we're gonna end this every fucking year. I mean, it's just more and more remakes and reboots that I'm not asking for. I don't want to see. I never want to see, and they get announced. Sometimes they don't get made, and other times they do. And I'm hoping this is one of those cases where it doesn't get made, like Backdraft 2, directed by the guy who did fucking Apollo 18 with Killer Moon Rocks or whatever the fuck it was. There's a remake of The Changeling, which is going to be in the works. Yeah, The Changeling. Finally, the film is getting a Blu-ray release through Second Sight Films in the UK, and hopefully Severin also gets a release out too. Speaking of the releases, Rituals is supposed to come out through Scorpion Releasing, but that kind of fell through. And I remember I read something somewhere in a forum that it's because the print is kind of shitty, so they're trying to remaster it some more. They're taking more
Find other
time.
avenues.
Yeah, they're taking more time to try to get a
Find
better
try
print,
yeah,
which I'm fine for. I'm all for
exactly.
that because the DVD print is not that good, but it kind of adds to the aesthetic of the film. To be honest, it's almost it's like a film that takes place in the backwoods, so it's almost like some backwoods film you found in the wild somewhere, and they're just playing on this old projector. So it kind of works with the vibe the film's trying to go for. But I'd rather see it remastered because that's a gem. But The Changeling is also another gem, and this remake absolutely will not be a gem. I don't care if Tom Twyker's production company did Run Lola Run or Cloud Atlas. I don't give a shit. We don't need a remake of The Changeling. This screams of, well, the haunted house films are really popular nowadays. Let's do The Changeling. How about we don't remake The Changeling? How about we don't do that? The new film shifts the action from the U.S. to Venice, Italy, after the death of his young daughter. Musician Joe Carmichael returns to his childhood home in Italy, but he finds the house is haunted by the spirit of a dead child and begins to uncover a terrifying family secret. So this is like the Omen remake, where it's like, oh, let's just change the locations up a little bit, have a few different kills here and there, and then that's it. It's the same fucking movie. Oh, you changed it to Italy. Wow. This does not absolve you of this heinous crime. It does not mean that this should be a thing. Oh, you just made it take place in Italy now. Wow, I totally need to see the Changeling remake now. Because it's going to take place in Italy. Now, Daredevil and Ghost Rider director Mark Steven Johnson is going to write and direct this. What has he shown that he can do a film like
Uh,
this? Nothing.
Like this, none. Yeah, not that I could think of. No.
It's like Simon West's The Blob, which seems like it's dead, and I hope that's the case. It's just frozen. It's not gonna be unthawed. It's just gonna remain frozen in time for all eternity. But with this one, it's supposed to begin production in Venice in early 2019, and casting is already underway. And Brad Miska, Bloody Disgusting, well, like it was a fucking shill, and he's disgusting if you ask me because he's so much of a shill. He puts in this little paragraph here: the decision to remake The Changeling is a no-brainer, especially with the resurgence of supernatural horror thanks to the Conjuring universe. While remakes can be tiring, Changeling carries several unique set pieces that make it ripe for reinterpretation. No. Can you get your lips off of every upcoming horror movie's ass or their cock, Brad? Like, this doesn't even come across as legitimate journalism. This is just like, oh, let me just suck more of that horror cock. Oh. Joel Michaels, who produced the original Changeling, and whose credits include Terminator Salvation and Lolita, will produce the remake with Uwe Schott and Stefan Arndt of X-Film. Cornerstone toppers Thompson and Mark Gooder will executive produce. And Michaels is now producing Bart Friedlich's U.S. remake of Suzanne Bier's After the Wedding, which I don't even know what that is. Who cares? The reason why I don't want this to be made, not only because I don't want the legacy of such a underrated, amazing film like The Changeling to be sullied, but also because of the fact that this could not be made nowadays. You cannot make a film like The Changeling nowadays. I wish that could be the case, but with the way things are, the way films and horror films, especially haunted house films, have been lately, I don't think it's possible. I thought it was going to be when I saw the trailer for Winchester, and then I saw the movie, and it was just a bunch of fucking jump scares and whole lot of bullshit, which the trailer didn't show. Don't want to see a jump scare fucking Conjuring wannabe version of the Changeling. I really don't. How about your thoughts?
Of course not. Yeah, I mean, I would just prefer having a good Blu-ray of the original film than this stuff. Mark Steven Johnson, I've liked his work in movies. I know he got a lot of shit for those movies, which I don't think he deserved that much. But yeah, with those movies like Daredevil, Ghost Rider, they don't show that he would be capable of doing a Changeling type of movie, and it's not needed. There's there's too many ghost story movies. There's too many haunted movies. There's over an abundance of them.
That's another
This is
reason
just
not to do
another. Yeah, it'll be in one ear, out the other when it comes out, and no one will remember it.
like Poltergeist.
Yeah, the remake of Poltergeist, exactly. No one remembers that or talks about it.
Really, with
For good
Poltergeist,
reason.
I really would have rather them done a sequel. You know, cast a different actress
Hmm.
to play a grown-up Carol Ann. Have her either be like a college student, professor. Maybe she's a parapsychologist herself, taking up the mantle of Tangina or following in her footsteps, or a parapsychologist like Dr. Lesh, and she ends up having to get involved in another paranormal situation and reunites with her dad and her mom, and I would have rather seen that instead of the remake that we got, which was awful and
Of course.
fucking Xerox with CGI squirrels. Where they have a CGI bouncy ball,
Yeah.
a CGI wheelchair.
CGI balloon.
It'll probably take out like all of the subtlety. Like I will be shocked if this remake actually is an old-fashioned haunted house film. That's more of a murder mystery first, haunted house film second, but it's still really effective because the scares and the ghost story elements of it, there's few of them, but because there's so few, they're able to be as good as they could possibly be. Instead of just having 50 different jump scares or all this other stuff just crammed into the movie, and you don't really have that much care or effort to put into all of them. At least not a consistent amount of effort and care. And it's a shame, it really is, that we're just. I'm gonna have to. Another thing, I'm gonna have to be like, oh, did you see the thing? Oh, what thing? Uh, the John Carpenter film. John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh, did you see Halloween? Which Halloween? Rob Zombie's, the David Gordon Green's. What? John Carpenter's Halloween. Have you seen The Fog? Yeah, I've seen The Fog. You know, the one that movie sucked. I'm like, no, I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the original. The Changeling. What, the one with Angelina Jolie? No, that's a different movie entirely. Oh, that remake, that haunted house movie that was forgettable and shitty, that sucked. No, the 1980 film with George C. Scott. George C. Who? I just ah, this is gonna be another film I have to put on the list of just having to clarify shit to people. It's annoying.
Sadly, yes. Sadly, yes.
But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Pretty much all out of things to talk about. I don't know if there's anything that you want to mention or not.
No, you pretty much touched on all the subjects I was thinking of.
Yeah. So there was something that was in the rattling the back of my head, but it left and it flew out my ass, so it's gone. Um, anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. This Mike does not give a fuck edition. I'm just at that point now. Sometimes that happens, you know, when you just get all this news and all this stuff. You're just like, ugh. You know, no wonder we're cynical. I mean, you can't blame us. But we do have some hope. There are some things coming out that do look interesting. There's a now I remember what I want to talk about. There's a film coming out called Downrange, which looks promising. It's directed by I'm trying to remember exactly what else that guy did. But what's really cool about this concept, it's a simple, straightforward. It looks like a simple, straightforward film, and it's a group of people, and they're pretty much being hunted by this figure with a sniper rifle, and they have to figure out a way to survive. And there's practical blood squibs and stuff,
Hmm.
and yeah, I'm interested in it. Um,
Me too.
looks like it might be a potential gem. Uh, yeah, I wanted to mention that real quick because we do have some hope. I mean, there's some upcoming Blu-ray releases that look promising, that look like fun, and I'm really looking forward to Deadpool 2, and we like the trailer for Searching, so there's still hope. But it just seems like as years go by, it just seems like there's less and less of it. Like there's less and less movies that I really give a shit about seeing in the theater. I mean, especially in your case, because you have to drive 40 minutes and pay 10, $15 to see a movie. I don't blame you for being like, I don't really want to take the risk.
Exactly.
For me, it's like, I got a movie pass. I'll take a risk on some, but with something like The Predator, like, it's not getting my money. It'll get some other guy's money, but not my money. But with Deadpool 2, I gave it my money because I'm that I believe in it, and I'll do that for other films that I'm looking forward to or have faith in. But it's there are movies out there, some that really reinstill my faith, but there's others that just bring it back down again. You know, it's just but yeah, it's one of those things. It's just it's a never ending struggle. You know, it's
Exactly.
and but that's what happens when you're passionate about something. Like if you're passionate about it, when you see what you feel like the quality of things diminishing, it's upsetting because you're so passionate about it. I think there's a lot of people nowadays who aren't that passionate about films. Just look at it as some kind of just mindless form of entertainment, or just look at it as just kind of a throwaway thing, just a take it or leave it type thing. And I feel films and the whole genre, every genre of film, and just films themselves, to me, they're much more than just some throwaway thing. It's they can create lasting impressions on people and have a legacy and can be inspiring and uplifting and memorable and can be thrilling and horrifying and touching at the same time. They're some of the most effective forms of storytelling that I know of. Even more effective in a book because you have the visual aspect on top of the other aspect of storytelling. So it enhances the type of storytelling you would see in a good book. And like every good story, I want them to stand the test of time, and I want to have more films that future generations can look back at and be like, "Oh, that's a classic. That's cool." Like, go back and watch it again and again, and recommend it to other people, and have a legacy. I don't want films to constantly be these cannon fodder, throwaway, cash grab, lazy fucking bullshit type of movies that should just be flushed down the toilet and forgotten about. And that's what a lot of them are. And I just feel it's a waste of resources, a waste of people's time, a waste of ingenuity, and just a waste of space. But, at the end of the day, that's up to one's personal opinion, but that's how I feel. I feel like as the years go by, its quality just gets worse and worse, and I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me. So, I don't know if you have anything
No,
to add on
I
that.
definitely understand that. No, you said it perfectly. I definitely get what you're going to, believe me. So I definitely get your point of view. So
We're not alone, although it
I understand.
seems like sometimes we are. But there are some young kids that have the same passion and have higher standards for filmmaking and cinema in general. They don't just look at it, well, it got made and somebody liked it and somebody found it entertaining and it provided jobs for people, so therefore it's excused no matter the overall quality of the movie. I don't understand that viewpoint. Oh, well, it got jobs. Well, there's a lot of things where, for example, you go to a restaurant and they give you shitty food that gives you food poisoning and you have diarrhea and you're vomiting everywhere later. Well, provided a job for the person who served you the bad food. So therefore, that the bad food, hey, it worked out. Like, it's no. What kind of logic is that? It doesn't make any sense. I But you see that nowadays. It's baffling. But you see it more and more in the comment section on trailers and on reviews and on Facebook, and it's just like, what is happening here? No wonder the quality of films is getting worse. Because people's standards are getting lower, and not everybody's standards are getting lower. There are some people who have higher standards, but other people, they don't have any. They don't even put a bar. They don't even set a bar. There is no bar. So there's no way for films to improve in terms of quality or nowhere for them to go. Like, they can't go up. They can only stay stagnant in terms of their quality and their storytelling, because if the majority of the audiences start thinking like this, and I'm afraid of this, Studios are going to catch up on that, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you don't really care? So we aren't going to care. We'll just give you the lowest common denominator. We'll give you our least effort every single time because we know that we'll still make money off of that because you don't care." I hate that idea. I loathe and fear that future of cinema, and I think that'll lead to the death of cinema if that ever becomes a viewpoint that becomes adopted by the majority. Because the studios will totally 100% just keep feeding you the same shit. They already kind of are doing that. What makes you think they're going to stop? They're not going to. The only way they're going to change anything is if you hit them where it hurts in their bottom line. And if you don't give them that blow, they'll just keep giving you blows. So, I want to thank my good friend for joining me. Hope you all enjoyed this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for enduring my ranting. But, you know, I'm at that point where I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Some people might be offended, whatever. Teach their own. At least I'm honest. And you'll get nothing else from me. I won't ever lie to you. I won't ever bullshit you. Whenever you hear anything I say on this channel, it's from the heart. And sometimes I might fuck up and I might say some things that I might regret later. And I've done that in the past, but I'm much better at that now. But regardless, sometimes, you know, shit happens, and who are you going to call? Who's going to deal with it? I guess you're going to have to call me and my friend over here. You know, we can be the men at work and clean up the bullshit that cinema has to offer. So, thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next installment of Celluloid Nation. See ya.